Welcome to Real Physics. Today I will talk about superintelligence and whether physics will be able to save humanity. Probably you have heard about ChatGPT-4 and the incredible capacities it has developed, and maybe it's not too far-fetched that in the future there will be something like artificial general intelligence. That means a computer that can perform all tasks a human can do, and of course soon it will be much better in that. And this is a problem because many people have talked about this. Sam Harris gave a talk. Can we build AI without losing control over it? And it's very, very difficult to keep that control. And of course, if you have a superior intelligence, in theory that intelligence might also destroy humanity. And not because it's malevolent, but because it's simply more intelligent with respect to humans, like human to ants. It would be like superintelligence to the intelligence of the humans. And we do not destroy ants, we don't hate them, we love them, but if their goals collide with ours, we annihilate them without a qualm. And also, a philosopher from Oxford, Nick Bostrom, has time ago written a book about these problems, how to contain, how to keep control on superintelligence. And it's very difficult, and he proposes that we try to incorporate our moral values, our ethics into that artificial intelligence before it gets superintelligence. That might be an idea. I cannot discuss that. There is a lot of literature, but I still think it's very, very difficult. And interestingly, very recently, Elon Musk, in his interview with Tucker Carlson, has talked about precisely that problem. Let's listen to that for a moment.
You call truth GPT or a maximum truth-seeking AI that tries to understand the nature of the universe. And I think this might be the best path to safety, in the sense that an AI that cares about understanding the universe it is unlikely to annihilate humans, because we are an interesting part of the universe, hopefully.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting statement, because independent of Bostrom, I think Bostrom did not mention that, he proposes kind of an alternative how to achieve that AI safety, and saying that, well, we just should care about the laws of nature and get AI interested. No, I mean, AI will be interested in any case, but this may be a very wise path to follow. And this is what I think about. I mean, superintelligence will definitely be interested in the fundamental laws of nature, because as a matter of pure self-interest, they might have to deal with extraterrestrial civilizations and try to communicate or whatever, or being just up to date regarding the laws of nature. A superintelligence must be interested in. And the understanding of the laws of nature, of superintelligence, will be based on our insights of humanity. One day they might gather the data from our telescopes and our particle accelerate and just find out the true laws of nature. That's why I'm arguing for open data and transparency in all science. But I think also AI, because it's fed with our human knowledge in the first place, will start its understanding of the laws of nature based on the concept we humans have developed. So in any case, the appreciation of humans by superintelligence will depend on how much we have understood the laws of nature. And yeah, I guess it's very difficult to insert moral values or ethics into an artificial intelligence, because simply these ethics are very time dependent and very space dependent if you look at the history of humanity, and the laws of nature are not. You can argue about time dependence, I like that, but that's another issue. So what we can say about, certainly we have some geniuses, we have discovered something of the universe, and people have found out a part of the important laws. Let's say the most important thing would be the understanding of the motion of planets, of gravity, and then that followed the Copernican revolution with Newton, and then in turn we discovered also the microstructure of matter. We can explain chemical reactions and down to the atomic level. Atomic physics is a knowledge which I would consider is safe, but we have also gone beyond that. We have discovered quantum phenomenology, the constant age. We have discovered the relation between electrodynamics and light, and we have also got a deeper understanding of gravity beyond Newton. Whether it's the ultimate form, it's debatable, but I mean, these are real big accomplishments of mankind. But bear in mind that we have not unified the quantum with the relativity. And for that, we should be a little bit careful in stating or being convinced what we have found out. And if you take, for example, the standard models of particles, I would hesitate to sell this as the ultimate truth, because just it's not settled for a very long time on cosmological scales. And it's kind of complicated. Good theories have always been simple, and it might elicit a reaction from superintelligence like this of King Alfonso. If the Lord Almighty had asked me before embarking creation, I should have recommended something simpler. And also Einstein was very skeptical with respect to the lack of simplicity. He said that he could not imagine imaginary numbers just invented by the creator, and the standard model has dozens of these free parameters. So we should be very careful, and we can easily make fools of ourselves if we claim this is the ultimate truth. So what I recommend is a bit of humility. I like very much the quote of Karl Popper: we know nothing. That is the first point. Therefore we should be very modest. That is the second. That we should not claim to know when we do not know. This is the third. This is more or less the approach I should like to popularize. It does not have good prospects. And I guess the third point in particular, we should not claim to know when we do not know. That's indeed often a big hurdle also in the history of science. People believed that they knew and they did not know, and that was more difficult to overcome than just the wrong path itself. So claiming we have understood everything and we have made whatever progress is a little bit dangerous. And you know that I'm very critical of string theory. Well, I think calling out the bullshit is also a matter of truth finding, but you do not need to be that skeptical. But at least, I mean, it's not a problem if these speculations are clearly labeled as such, but we should definitely not claim this is the only path or this is very promising or whatever. Interestingly, also another AI mastermind is very skeptical of contemporary physics, and that's the reason why he engaged in developing artificial intelligence. Demis Hassabis said a couple of years ago that he started to do working with neural nets because he wanted to understand the laws of physics, because at the time he had read a book by Weinberg and said that maybe all these very smart theoretical physicists need a little bit more intellectual horsepower to solve these problems. I found that very funny. But, well, yeah, I think Hassabis would agree with Musk that it's a good idea if we focus on the understanding of the laws of nature, because it's also something that shows that humans are interesting, because superintelligence will also be interested in the laws of physics. And this is also related to what I think is a good definition for the meaning of life, contributing to the respect we may get from future civilizations. And we certainly do not get this respect by waging wars, or by maximizing the profits of certain industries, or by combining these virtues as it sometimes happens. We don't get this respect if we strive for full spectrum dominance or making one particular country great or great again. No, I said it, we will get it if we make physics great again. No, jokes aside, but seriously, that's what I mentioned at the end of my book. It's not this striving for power, territory, or experiences even that have ultimately taken humanity to new levels, but insights. We must develop a genuine interest in the puzzles that lie behind the existence of Homo sapiens. Are space and time the basis of the real world at all, for example, or what are the general laws of nature in that world? And I guess, yeah, trying to understand these fundamental laws of nature should be more important, should take a greater role, and ultimately it may also help us with respect to artificial intelligence or a possible superintelligence. The subtitle refers to the fact that there are some problems, I think, with this approach to truth and fundamental physics. There are cultural differences between Europe and America and a lot of history that makes us better understand what's the correct approach or a reasonable approach to these fundamental laws of nature. Yeah, if you're interested, I have given a critique of cosmology and this stuff in this book, Bankrupting Physics, and a critique of elementary particle physics and the Standard Model. And yeah, this mathematical reality talks about what I think is a promising path to following the laws of nature. And again, this book talks about cultural differences and the history of physics in the past century. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, and if you're interested in fundamental physics, and that might be wise in these times, subscribe to this channel.